You want me to give you a testimony about my life and how good he's been to me. I don't know what to tell you about him. I love him so much with all my heart and my soul. With every bone in my body, I love him so much because he's done so much for me. Every morning, every day of my life, I won't always be crying tears in the middle of the night, and I won't always have to wake up by myself wondering how I'm gonna get through the day. I won't always have to think about what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna make it, how I'm gonna get there, because he's gonna be there for me. Someday the sky above will open.
What's up, YouTube? It's Zikomo, and I'm here with another young entrepreneur. Today, I'm with the CEO and founder of Privately Sampled. I'm here with Nneka, Shelton. How's everything going today?
I'm well, very well. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking.
Good.
All right, so before we even get into your business, the first thing I would like for you to do is just open up and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Right. So I went to school at St. John's in New York. I kind of went the path that most good kids follow, whatever their parents want them to do. So I studied risk management and insurance. It was kind of a compromise because I wanted to be in New York where all the fashion and everything that had to do with fashion was. But I still did the corporate route.
You went the corporate route.
Yeah.
All right, so with Privately Sampled having to do with the fashion industry, did you go to school for fashion? I'm just trying to find out, how did you get into this lane?
Right, so I have always loved fashion. So I'm an only child, and I grew up basically with fashion shows being my babysitter. So my parents would work in the summer, and I had like a babysitter or my grandparents there with me, but I would just watch fashion shows all day. So as a child, like at 8 years old, I knew of like Missoni and Gucci and Eves. Like I knew the backstory behind the lines, and I just fell in love with it. It wasn't necessarily just about like the fashion, it was about everything that encompassed it, basically.
With this being your passion, being in the fashion industry, did you always see yourself as an entrepreneur in fashion, or did you see yourself more along the lines of, let's say, you know, the clothing in terms of like creating the clothing, or, you know, that side, the design side?
So I would say that I am not the most creative person in the world. Like, I would say I have a good vision, but I'm definitely more business minded. So Privately Sampled, candidly, Privately Sampled came about because I love to shop. I have a true addiction. Like, I feel better when I'm shopping. I just like to be in the mix of stores and clothes and fashion and all that. So Privately Sampled started out with me finding designer deals or going to malls, sample sales, stuff like that, outlets, and finding really great pieces for good prices. So it kind of fulfilled me in that way, like, ooh, I'm buying stuff, but I'm not using my money. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a mix of, I like the creative, I love fashion, I like that, but also I need to make money to fulfill what I like. So the premise of Privately Sampled is we aggregate sales. So that's our whole claim to fame. So we are affiliated with over 40 stores now, which is weird for me to say, because I would say like 6 months ago it was like 5 stores. So we're affiliated with 40 stores now, and basically what we do is whenever they have big sales, so let's say Nordstrom has an anniversary sale. Not everyone knows when this sale is, so you're gonna come to our site to see, okay, this is when the Nordstrom anniversary sale is, like I gotta write this down, or it's just a conglomerate of sales. So if you like top tier stores, which is who we're typically affiliated with, top tier international and national retailers, that includes brick and mortar stores and stores that only have an online presence, you're gonna come to our site to see when their sales are, when their top sales are, like their #1 sale of the season, and then their sale collection. So one of our affiliates is a site called Moda Operandi, and their claim to fame is fashion off the runway. So typically it's pretty hard to get fashion from runways from immediately, like pre-sale basically, and to buy it or have it for the general public available to buy. So Moda Operandi has trunk sales sometimes where you can get what was left over, I guess, from runway from their collection and get it on sale.
Is privately sampled what you do full time, or do you have a 9 to 5 that you work with privately sampled?
Right. So right now I do work my 9 to 5 every day. Luckily, I have the flexibility to work from home or kind of make my hours, so that proves to be really helpful because when I need to be on the road, when I need to meet people, when I have random web developer calls in the middle of the day, I get the chance to step away for 2 or 3 hours and handle what I need to handle. So I would say, like I mentioned, it's been about 2 years that I've had the idea of privately sampled, like just about under a year now that I've really put it into motion with my web developers, with getting affiliates, with working with people, with partnering with retailers, with retailers in a physical way, like with shopping events and things like that. So my goal is 12/31/16, which is a special number to me, to quit my job, my 9 to 5, and do this full time.
All right, that's amazing. You got a date.
Yes.
You got a date.
Do or die. That's my motto. Like, I need to get to a place where I'm just completely uncomfortable, because right now I'm comfortable with where I am because I have my 9 to 5. Like, I have that cushion. Like, okay, privately sampled didn't make any money today. Well, I still made money. I need to get out of that. You know what I mean? I need to be like, I didn't make any money today. I have to do 3 times as much tomorrow.
All right. So earlier you were telling me a little bit about your competitors and how you study them to kind of figure out your advantages and how they started and their foundation. So I would like to know what sets privately sampled apart from the other competitors or other competitors that you have.
Right. So I would say, like I mentioned, there's probably about 4 or 5 really top competitors that are in the same space, meaning they have the same business model as I do. And I would say the way that they get a lot of people or consumers to come to their site to buy, scroll, search, whatever, is their image of beauty or their image of what's popular or what people will like. And it's geared towards a huge population, or it's geared towards white people or not necessarily people of color. And I think it's really important to know that there's a huge demographic out there that's not truly being tapped into. And maybe it's sort of being tapped into because although I am a black woman, I still look at Gigi Hadid or Bella or, you know, Blake Lively. I still look at Kate Moss and I'm like, oh, she's beautiful. I like what you have on. It's very nice. But there's a lot of other black women, black models, black people to look up to that are true fashion people. Like, not even models that are on Vogue, that are in Vogue or in fashion shows, like J-Lo. She's huge. Or Solange. They're really big. Or Rihanna. Everyone knows Rihanna. But they're huge. And if you're a fashion person, you are into what they're wearing. You like what they have on. That's an inspiration piece for you. So I think it's important not to only show, you know, the Bellas or the Kendall and Kylies of the world, but to also show, you know, the J-Los and the Solanges and just people of color that, you know, here's a person with style and here's how to redo what they did on sale with designer stuff. Like, my main goal with privately sampled was, I'm a huge designer shopper. I love designer clothes. I always have. When I was in college, I had to shop on a budget, as most people do in the normal world. So although you love designer things, you love designer items, you're not going to get the newest designer item every time you go shopping. People like to shop smart. There's a reason why TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Nordstrom Rack, Saks Off Fifth, Neiman's Last Call, those are huge markets, and they exist because people like that. People want to go shop those items for sale. Like, hey, I got this Gucci bag, maybe 6 months later than you did, but I saved $600, you know, and now I can get something else with my $600, you know. So that's kind of that's the goal of privately sampled, and I want to be able to tap into the markets of people that look like me.
Thank you once again for sitting with us. I believe your idea, privately sampled, is a great idea. Empowering the consumer, especially when it comes down to fashion, because it is a billion-dollar industry. And with you being a part of it, I can definitely see a lot of people gaining great benefit from it. So how I want to close it off is I want to allow the people who are definitely interested in using privately sampled to be able to find you. So where can they locate you online?
Yep. Well, first you could go to www.privatelysampled.com, and the first pop-up screen that will come up will be a connect form where you can put your information in. If you X out of that, you can scroll down and insert a message if you like. You can find me on Instagram, privately sampled, on Twitter at psampled, and Facebook, privately sampled.
Okay. All right. And once again, thank you for sitting down and talking with us. You gave some gems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once again, you too, thank you for sitting down and watching this program. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Yay.